Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing a bonus reading for you guys. You had the highest viewership again last week, so thank you so much. I do want to start by letting you know that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Cancer sign. So guys, take what resonates for you and just leave the rest for someone else. Remember also the energies may reverse. So if it's resonating, Cancer, you get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Cancer? Cancer. Okay. All right, Cancer, you're starting out with the Hierophant in the reverse. You have Judgment, and you have the Moon in the reverse. So there's been an ending here. There's an ending of some sort of a commitment. I do feel like you would like to revisit this situation. With the Moon here in the reverse, this is telling me that whatever it is that ended this, it was revealed to you. There's an epiphany that's happened here in your more recent past. I'm also seeing that whatever ended this connection was because something came out into the open. I do feel like you want to reconnect with this person, though. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who's in Cancer's energy. All right, so the person in your energy, Cancer, has the Eight of Cups, the Tower in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups. So this person may have walked away from the connection. This is when this ended. I see this person wanting to repair the damage that's been done. After they walked away, or possibly you walked away, whoever walked away, it created a tower moment for this person. And there's a realization that they're having that it wasn't built on a solid foundation. So now they want to come back in and repair the damage that's been done. Seven of Cups tells me that this person is very patiently waiting to see, you know, what you're going to do. They're watching, they're waiting, but they also want to invest in this connection and repair the damage. So show me the energy between Cancer and this person. Ooh, Five of Swords. Oof. Yeah, so there was some pretty ugly conflict here. Yeah, that's harsh conflict, very harsh conflict. I do feel like, you know, both parties were left in tears, whether you're aware of it or not. Let me see what's affecting this connection. The Star card, there's hope. Yeah, there's hope here. You're hoping to reconnect with this person to bring this back together. And they're hoping to repair the damage that's been done and rebuild this on a solid foundation. So you're both very hopeful. Yeah, you're both very hopeful. Let me see the outcome. The Hermit in the reverse. There's going to be communication here. Now, whoever walked away, and it looks like it might have been this person, may have ghosted you as well. Or you could have both ghosted each other. But I definitely feel like you went through some depression here. I feel like this person went through a tower moment. You've both decided that you would like to give this a second chance, and there's going to be communication. So, bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups in the reverse. This is underlying energy. And Cancer, this is indicating that there is a lack of emotional fulfillment in your life currently. So, let's clarify your reading. Spirit, why is the Hierophant in reverse? You might be dealing with an Aquarius or a Virgo. Why is the Hierophant in the reverse for Cancer? Yeah, you want to end that conflict. Five of Wands reversed. You want to work things out with this person. Nine of Wands reversed, Five of Wands reversed. So I definitely see that there was some pretty dramatic conflict that happened between the two of you. It was very cutting. There were some very cutting words that were said that left one or both of you in tears. You want to resolve that. You want to work it out. However, you're not feeling like this person wants to. You're not trusting that they want to work this out. Let me see judgment. Show me judgment for Cancer. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Wands reversed, Four of Swords. Yeah, that's and the Ten of Wands. So there's been quite a bit of gap in the communication. You haven't been communicating with them. You may have felt like they weren't offering you anything. There is something to do with, you may have felt this person may not have been offering you marriage or offering you any kind of committed connection. But regardless, I do feel like, you know, I see the ending here. I see it twice in your energy. I feel like you're not really open to new energies right now. With the Four of Swords, there's still this lack of communication, but you definitely want to resolve the problems. I think there were a lot of problems here, and that's what led to all this conflict as well. So you're hopeful that the problems can be resolved, but at the same time, I don't feel like you are breaking the silence that's between the two of you. Let me see the Moon in reverse. You are hopeful that they will, though. Four of Pentacles, Three of Wands reversed. Yeah, so you're holding on to this person. Even though you're very guarded, Cancer, you're still holding on to this person. But you're feeling like, well, maybe this is not where my future is going to be. Maybe my ships are never going to come in with regard to this person. So I do feel like you are impatient to talk to them. I don't see you reaching out to them, but you're hopeful that at some point they're going to reach out to you. So let's look at their energy, Cancer. Spirit, why is the Eight of Cups here for the person in Cancer's energy? Why is the Eight of Cups here? All right, we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. And there's that Tower in reverse. They have that in their energy twice, Cancer. So I do feel like this was a very important choice that this person was making with regard to this connection. They could have possibly been choosing between you and someone else that they may have known for a very long time. I do feel like this person is part of a community of some sort or very close family. So this, whatever this, you know, conflict was between the two of you, it was affected by this person's either close friends or family. And I do feel like that has led to a lot of trust issues in this relationship. Now, they may have been choosing between you and somebody they've known for a long time as well. Regardless, I feel like they want to come back in and they want to repair the damage that's been done. This person is now realizing that, you know, this was a soul connection. They're seeing you as a soulmate. So let me look at, show me the Tower in reverse for the person in Cancer's energy. You might be dealing with a Gemini or a Scorpio, the Emperor, Aries energy, and the King of Wands reversed. This person's going to take control of the situation. I feel like they haven't been. It looks like, Cancer, there's been quite a bit of time that has gone past that, you know, this person has not been taking any action towards this connection. So it's hard for me to see what has changed their view, but something has. And this person is kind of showing up as being somebody that may be in another connection already. And if so, you may have felt this person was offering you far less than what you deserved. And you basically said, you go, you work out your issues here. And until then, I'm not having anything to do with you. Not about love. It's about whether or not, you know, you can be with this person under those conditions. And yeah, I get that. I get that. I do think that this person is hopeful that if they take charge of the situation, that things can be worked out, can be rebuilt. Now, that being said, for those of you that this person was involved elsewhere, I see them still being involved. It looks like a long-term connection, something that they feel is socially approved of in some manner. And I do feel that this person, that's part of the reason they haven't been taking any action towards this connection. And I also have to tell you, Cancer, that this person may have been a little bit bitter towards you for a little while, because this is somebody who is very accustomed to saying, you know, jump, and people say how high. This person could own a business. They may be somebody who is in a position of authority. They're definitely somebody that is used to calling the shots. And with you, they weren't able to do that. And I do feel that this person, you know, it was an ego check for them. It was definitely an ego check. Let me look at the Seven of Cups. Show me the Seven of Cups. This person had choices. There was a choice between possibly you and somebody that they knew for a very long time. And so they had options in their life. With the Seven of Cups, it's showing me they had options. Now they're trying to figure out how to approach you after all this time has gone by where there's been a lack of communication. They're trying to figure out how can they do that? How can they approach you? All right, we have the Sun, Leo energy. I'm also seeing, so I see strong Aries, strong Leo, but Sagittarian energy is also here. Page of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, so this person sees you as happiness. They do see you as happiness. However, they're clear about the fact that it looks like you don't want anything to do with them. That you're deciding that this is not where you're... So you basically have cut this person off. You're removing your energy from them, and they're feeling that. They have feelings for you, Cancer, but they're not expressing them. They know they have feelings for you as well. They're trying to figure out how to approach you and break this silence that's here. And you're at the point where you're saying, I just don't think it's going to happen. So let me see the energy between Cancer and this person. Because I feel like you're trying to cut this energy out. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Devil. You might be dealing with a Capricorn. And the Nine of Swords reversed. So this was a toxic connection, Cancer. Yeah, this was a toxic connection. There was ego involved. There was probably a lot of fighting that was occurring. I feel like at this point, you're trying to avoid conflict with this person, and you are recognizing that this is a toxic connection. And you feel like, well, what's the point? Because it's not going anywhere. Now, that being said, you're still holding on to their energy. And I get it. It's very difficult to let go and move forward. But I do see you trying to do that. Now, in this person's energy, they are showing up as being somebody who had definitely options and choices with regard to relationship. They're trying to avoid a tower moment. They already had a tower moment with you, which they're resentful of, but they're also trying to avoid a tower moment with somebody that they've been in a long-term connection with, possibly even a marriage. But so this is somebody who is acting as if they're unbothered by the situation between the two of you, but that's not truly the case. Yeah, that's not truly the case. And they don't think that you're moving on from them. They don't think you would ever move on from them. But I'm seeing it's not a good sign to get the Devil and the Five of Swords. That definitely shows narcissistic energy. It shows toxic energy, possibly even a trauma bond here, because the Five of Swords is very cutting energy. And this person's acting like they're unbothered. Like they're acting like, you know, they can just walk away from this connection and everything is fine. But that's not really the case. Let me see the Star card. You may have felt like this person was keeping you stuck because they were involved elsewhere. And you basically said, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be put in competition with others. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to wait around for you and stay stuck. So you may have said, look, you either, you know, come towards me and end that, or, you know, go on about your business. And so this person did. They walked away from the connection, acting like it didn't bother them. But the truth is very different from what they're presenting. All right, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. We have the Eight of Swords, and we have the High Priestess reversed. Scorpio energy. So yeah, you're both thinking about one another. You're both hoping to either run into the other person or to come bring this back together. You both want to bring this back together. But I can clearly see that it's because of the circumstances. It's not a matter of do you have feelings or emotions, although I will have to say you're realizing that you have to cut this person off. I feel like you're definitely not going to approach them. I definitely see that there was arguing energy here. You think about that a lot. It was likely whatever contributed to this Five of Swords. So whatever this argument was, it got pretty toxic. But I think that this was a toxic connection to begin with. You're avoiding this person. You're not talking to them because you don't want to deal with all these problems that this person has brought into your life. Yeah, it's like it's stuck energy, Cancer, because you still think about them. You still hope that perhaps this will work out. But I also feel like you're not investing in it. You're not putting all your eggs in that basket anymore. You do think about them, though. And I do think that you think about them a lot. A little bit of overthinking even. Now, in their energy, this is somebody who I feel like this connection with you was brought out into the open. It was a toxic connection. There were other people involved. And so all of this got brought out into the open with this High Priestess in the reverse. And that's why this person is very resentful and very angry. This is what caused the Tower moment. It wasn't necessarily the breakup, because this person felt like you would never leave them. You would never go anywhere. It was that it was brought out into the open. And that's why they're resentful. So let me look at your outcome, because I do see communication. We have the Hermit in reverse. That's communication after a long time. And I also see that this person thinks about you a lot. They think about the situation. They think about, you know, everything that happened between the two of you. But there's this awareness that they have that, you know, doing anything about what they're thinking and feeling may lead to another Tower moment. All right, so you have the Hermit in the reverse, the Strength card, and the Two of Swords. They're trying to find the courage to approach you. I don't see you approaching them at all. I see you basically saying, I made a judgment call here. I've had a realization of what I need to do. This is not where my future is. I am not reaching out to them. I am not moving towards them. This was a toxic connection. There's still a little part of you that is still holding on to them, and you're aware of it. It's not like you're not aware of it, but you're maintaining your silence here. You're also trying to figure out how to move forward and basically put this behind you. I do see you working on yourself, and I do feel like you're overcoming a lot of things. You're finding the answers that you need, but I feel like it's been a long journey for you, Cancer. In this person's energy, they're going back and forth in their mind about how they can reach out to you. Will you respond to them? They're just back and forth. They have strong feelings for you, but this is somebody that is very indecisive. They have a decision here to make, and I feel like it's the same decision they had before. It was between you and someone else that they had known for a long time or been involved with. Somebody that they felt in some manner was socially acceptable. So this looks like it was a secret connection and it got put on Front Street. So do they have strong feelings for you? Yes. They're trying to get the courage to approach you, to, reach out to you. This is the type of person who probably writes texts and then erases them. So they're going back and forth about how to approach you. They want to communicate. Is it going to happen at the end of the week? I don't see that happening. I know you're not going to approach them, and they're very indecisive about what to say, how to approach you. Will you respond? Are you going to be open? So, bottom of the deck is the Fool. Now, that's underlying energy, and it does indicate taking a leap of faith into a new beginning. I'm not seeing it with this person, though. I feel like this is a new beginning for you. And I feel like for some of you, it may be on your own, because like I said, this person felt like you were never going to walk away. You were never going to leave them. And I feel like you have this new beginning that's happening here. There is a lot of unhappiness you're still dealing with, but I do feel like you have a new beginning. And I don't feel like it's with this person. So let me pull an oracle card. For some of you, it could be somebody new that you're meeting, but I feel like you finally have prioritized yourself over this relationship, and it's a shocker to this person. They never thought you would. All right, so your card is number 6, and this is called Mountain. So give me just a moment, and I will read that. You have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one action at a time, opting for the next right action. That's that new beginning you guys have. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have resonated with this Cancer, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype this video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Cancer, know that you are love, and namaste.